Hi guys, my name is Kiera, but here on the internet I go by Hobokiki, and we are jumping straight into my media journal today. I decided to do a media journal because I really wanted to do a book journal, but I know that was a little too optimistic for me, seeing as I know I can only do maybe about one or two books a month. That's about as much time I have to read books as of right now. So that would only make about 12 to 24 spreads, which is almost like, was it even worth it? So I decided to add all forms of media, anything that I'm taking in every month. So that includes new music, new movies, new shows, new anime, games I'm playing. And then we have today's subject, which is a podcast. Now, don't act like you ain't seen it. We all probably heard about it. I'm talking about Club Shay Shay's interview with Katt Williams. Now, I was thinking about how I wanted to talk about this subject because I did want to talk about it, but I did want to be careful about it because I want to have productive conversations. And although there was some tea, honey, although there was some tea, what I don't want to do is mindlessly babble about situations that I never experienced and people that I've never met. So we could sit here and talk about the tea, which again was very interesting, some eyes wide shut type of stuff. Or we could talk about some other things that I found even more interesting than the tea itself. I know, hard to believe, but I do want to get into some things that really resonated with me with this Katt Williams interview. And yes, I do know that I misspelled his name. Oh, I'm terrible. And yes, you are going to have to look at it be misspelled for this, like the entirety of this video. I do fix it, but you don't see the fix in this video because I didn't even catch that it was incorrect until everything was already all done. So it does get fixed and you can see the fix at the end of the video, but you don't see how I fix it. I do apologize for that. Okay, so back to the subject at hand. Let's get into what I was most intrigued about. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to try to be like I'm above all the drama. No, the drama was entertaining, but I was so intrigued by Katt Williams, his personal story, and how he carried himself. That is what really captivated my attention for the whole doggone near 3 hours of an interview. To begin with, I never knew Katt's backstory. I guess I never was the type of person to, like really dig into celebrities and their lifestyles, their birthdays, their horoscopes. I never really dug into that. It's just like, hey, I like what you did in this movie. It was nice. Or I like the song you made. It was great. And then I move on. But Katt is very interesting and very educated. And I almost feel like I disrespected him for not knowing his background. I honestly would have never known that he grew up in a very strict religious household and that he had to, live through homelessness, which is unfortunate, but he came out the other side of that, so good for him. I never knew that he was heavy on the books. What did he say? Did he say 3,000 a year? That's wild. I can't even get through two a month. But yeah, and then what else did he say that I thought was interesting? Oh, that he spoke different languages. How did I not know that he spoke different languages? One of my favorite things to watch while I was viewing this interview was how when Shay would ask him a question, he would kind of take a moment to pause. And I know some people are like, oh yeah, that's because he's thinking of a good lie, which could very well be true, you know. I don't know. I wasn't there for any of the stories that he talked about. So I wouldn't know if it's a lie or if it's the truth. But I do think, especially like me included, we do need to take a moment to internalize things before just speaking on them. You guys already know that I will just blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind, quick, fast, and in a hurry without thinking twice. And that's not necessarily the best thing to do. I am trying to teach myself to be more observant and to listen first. Because of that, I did have to watch this interview twice. The first time around I watched it, it was purely for the entertainment factor. It was, okay, this is the interview that everyone's been talking about, texting me, hey, watch this, watch this. It's everywhere. It's all over my timeline. I need to just get it out the way, watch it, and see why everyone is sitting down watching this 3-hour interview. And the second time I watched it, it was to actually listen. Listen without the intent of trying to figure out if he's lying or not. Listen without trying to call him crazy. Listen without trying to come to someone's defense, or even listening to him without trying to come to his defense. I just wanted to listen to how he was talking. I did like how when Shannon would, I don't want to say put words in his mouth, but he would ask Katt like a question without asking a question. So almost insinuating things. And Katt would basically say, I didn't say that, and would go into detail as to what he really said. He was very intentional with his word choice, and whether or not that was due to him lying or just him being incredibly smart and emotionally intelligent, I definitely admire that skill. Not that I would use it to lie. I wouldn't use it to lie. It's just that it's something that I want to be more mindful of. I want to be more mindful of the words that I am saying and how they come across to people who might hear them. I could also tell that when he was thinking, he was actually thinking of a way to explain things in a way that Shannon would understand. Not in a way that felt like he was trying to put Shannon beneath him, but in a way that was courteous. He would always refer to things from a football or sports perspective. He would make similes and analogies using sports so that his point could really get across, because he knows that's what Shannon is interested in. So he knows that he would be able to make a clearer argument or a better statement that could be understood easily or more easily for Shannon, just by using analogies that he could resonate with. And I loved that. And Katt was just spewing quotes left and right, like quotes that I actually resonated with, quotes that made me like really think about things. Now, the thing about me is I know how to chew and spit. I've always been able to chew and spit. So what that means, in case you're a youngin', what that means is basically you take the things that resonate with you, and you leave what doesn't. And that is how you can successfully agree to disagree with someone and yet still continue to have a good amount of respect for them. So I definitely recommend, not just for this interview, but for most things in life. I would almost argue almost everything. Almost everything. Chew and spit. Take what works for you, leave what doesn't. And I do think not only would you be a happier person, but the people around you would be happier, and there could just be a level of respect given to everybody. Speaking of chew and spit, I'm gonna need y'all to spit my drawing really quickly. Don't take it with you, okay? I have been really rusty and I just need to get back into it. And I just been like kind of like not wanting to do it just because I haven't done it so long and the drawings aren't coming out the way that I know they can come out. But I'm not going to get better if I just keep putting it in the back burner. So I just have to keep drawing. And so you guys are going to see a bunch of ugly sketches at first, but just bear with me. Bear with me. I know I'm going to bring it out. And I did want to keep this very sketchy, very loose, the whole page. So I didn't even try to draw the F's on his collar correctly. They were just simple and in line. I just wanted this to be very sketchy and doodly. And I think I did achieve that. But yeah, we're going to work on the actual sketching process. I just haven't had as much time as I'd like to just sit down and devote a whole hour to drawing. I know that is what will get me back into it much quicker. I usually just give it about 15-minute sketch, and whatever's on the paper is on the paper. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of how the drawing came out, I did like the looseness of it all. I did want one of my first spreads in my media journal to be loose, to feel sketchy, to feel doodly, just to make me not feel like everything has to be perfect, because sometimes it can be daunting to start the first page in your journal or your sketchbook or even your planner, because it's that first page, and I guess it comes with that expectation that it has to set the tone. And so I said, hey, if it's going to set a tone, it's going to set the tone of, hey, this is just a chill book to record what you've been doing this year, what you've been seeing, what you've been reading. It's just chill. And so for that, I love it. Now back from that intermission, let's get into some of my favorite quotes from Katt in this interview. I did put them in a cell phone because I watched the interview on my cell phone. So the first one being, to be confident and not delusional is a real skill. And I do really like this quote because I do feel like you have to be right on the precipice, right? Like you have to be super confident to really succeed, but you don't want to you don't want to fall into delusion. I do need to teach myself that all the choices and my desires are grounded in reality. However, I do also need to have the mega confidence to know that even though it may be slim pickings, that I'm still that girl. And even if it may seem like I cannot reach the goal that I want, if it's grounded in reality, if it's something that I know could happen if I work hard for it, then it can happen. Then he says, anything that takes over your free will is the devil itself. I feel like that's self-explanatory. When Sharp asks him, you weren't afraid? He says, don't say I wasn't afraid. There are certain human beings that understand that being afraid in no way stops you from doing what you got to do. And again, that ties into the first quote that I read earlier, that, you just still have to be confident, rooted in reality. But no, even if it seems like it's something that can't be done and it may scare you, If you're confident enough, you can do it. Another quote, I'm one of the richest people that ever lived, only in the fact that when I wake up in the morning, no matter where I am, I don't need nothing. Whatever I need is right around me. Whatever I don't have is only just 'cause I don't have it. Man, that's a word. I did manage to smear ink right here, but it's whatever. And going back to that quote, I know we planner girlies love to practice gratitude, and that's what that quote basically read to me, to be grateful for everything that you do have right in front of you. It kind of also reminds me of that Kanye song, We Got Everything We Need. Hoo, 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 hoo. Sorry. Sorry, you guys. You know, I always got to sing, even though I know I can't. Trust me, I know. And I always got to put stickers down. So that's what I'm doing here. When asked about politics, he says your team got an offense and a defense. They're not supposed to be enemies. The enemy is the other side. And I can't agree with him more. That's why I don't do the politics things, because I don't understand left wing versus right wing when a bird needs both to fly. But hey, I guess I'm asking for too much. In my head, it's like you kind of need to be able to have a little mixture of both. You need balance to make a sound decision. And that's why where we're going right now kind of scares me, y'all, with this whole, like, just with presidents in general. It's just, okay, I do buckle up. But let me not digress. Katt Williams, he did his thing. It was a great interview. I am going to use this star sticker to add my rating. And I'm just trying to figure out where to put it. If you didn't know, I'm definitely giving it a full 5 stars. Why not? It captivated millions for 3 hours straight. Some of us can't even watch a 10-minute video without Minecraft or some other kind of video game playing in the background, okay? So the interview gets a smooth 5 stars from me. I do want to thank you guys for watching my very first 2024 Media Journal spread. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you disliked the video, feel free to leave a dislike, bro. We keep it real over here. Thank you once again for watching my video. I will see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye.